Hi guys, it's been a little while since I posted a video, but I just wanted to make this one just to tell you about what's been happening recently with my OU studies and yeah, just keep you up to date on everything. So yesterday I had my first mark back for my first TMA. It's 40% to pass and I actually got 60%, so I am very happy with that. It's a good start and I hope it carries on this way, but surprisingly for someone who hasn't actually written an assessment in about 4 or 5 years, I was very surprised with my results. I did have a little bit of criticism back. I had 3 points back about using personal pronouns, which I didn't even realise I was doing, but it's an easy thing to correct for my next TMA. References. Now I knew I was going to get some criticism about my references because I have never actually had to use references in any sort of work before, so yeah, I completely knew I was going to get that. And my last one was actually word counts. So I had so for this TMA there's like a two-parter. I'll show you. So this is the assessment guide. This is where all your TMAs are like written down and stuff. So I'll use. So this is my TMA02. This is part 1, and then you also get a part 2, which is kind of like a study plan, and that's the bit where I didn't put my word counts in. I didn't even realise I needed to, but there's also an easy correction for my next TMA. So it's pretty simple. They're pretty simple things to sort out. So except for references, I must talk to my tutor about that. Yeah, so other than letting you guys know about that, I thought I'd kind of give you a bit of an update of how it works when you first start with the OU. So in my last video you would have seen that, if you haven't seen it, I'll link it down below, but I had my package arrive with all my study materials. As soon as I had that, basically I went through my study plan and I done the first week of like it's basically like reading through the materials and like just familiarising myself with everything. Part of that is also to read the assessment guide, which is what I done straight away, which kind of leads on to like the next point, I guess. I was working through the materials, and because I already knew what my first TMA was going to be, I actually marked out the sections that I wanted to use for my TMA, so that when it comes to actually doing my TMA, it was all there ready for me to just start planning out my assessment and everything. I think that's why I found it so easy. Like, it was pretty easy for me to get hold of. So yeah, after I had my assessment materials and my start with it, I think it was a week before my start date, I had an email off my tutor to introduce herself and everything, and she basically asked me to get in touch with her and to set up my first tutorial date. That was a bit nerve-wracking for me. I get very anxious when I'm on the phone to people, especially strangers. But when my first tutorial date actually came around, it was so easy, and like I honestly thought that it was gonna be like awkward and stuff like that, but it just flowed. She, like, obviously it's their jobs to know what questions to ask and how to keep the conversation going and stuff like that, so it was it was very easy, and it was like, it was a huge weight off my shoulders once that happened. After that, then I just basically got stuck in, started working through my materials and everything like that. I did set myself a bit of an earlier date for my TMA, just because I knew that I had a lot of the planning done already. I kind of like set it just a bit earlier so that I would keep it would keep my motivation going. And basically I kind of scared myself into staying motivated. But yeah, that worked out pretty well. I actually put my TMA in on a day before the cut-off date, even though it was like done like 2 weeks prior. I didn't want to seem too eager. Yeah, everyone in the OU is like super helpful. I've had a lot of bumps along the way, even like within like the first, how many months has it been? 3 months, I think it's been. Even in the first 3 months, I've had a few bumps along the way, and I've had to ring like customer service, like not customer services, sorry, like student the student help desk and stuff. I've had to ring them a couple of times, and they are so helpful, and they are so easy to talk to, and they get things sorted there and then. They are amazing. I can't stress that enough. I think it's obviously because you're doing all of it. Well, I'm doing all of it at home. I think like that's part of the reason why they're so helpful and they're so easy to talk to, just so that you don't feel like you're completely alone, I guess. But yeah, if you're worried about that, if you're worried about being alone during your like degree or whatever, don't worry about it. Like, you have so many numbers that you can ring. If you need help with anything, your tutor is always available to talk to you, except for during the holidays, but you shouldn't be studying during the holidays. Something I do want to mention as well is, if you are worried about how you actually send in your TMAs and stuff, there is a dummy TMA that you can send in to your tutor. It doesn't get marked as such, because you're literally just telling them why you want to study at the OU and stuff like that. But it does give you that bit of confidence to think, I can send it in easily. It's not going to take me a whole day to figure it out or anything like that. So that's a good thing I would suggest to do that, like, not straight away, obviously, but like once you feel like, oh, the TMA is coming up soon, I don't know what I'm doing really, send that in, and it'll take a big weight off your shoulders. It did for me anyway. I've found that sticking to my study routine at the beginning was a little bit hard. I was kind of studying wherever I could fit it in and everything, but then once I've actually sat down and thought about it, and it was coming up closer to my TMA cut-off date, I actually realised that if I had an actual study routine set out, I could organise myself a bit better, and I won't be missing weeks and then coming back to work and then completely forgetting where I was. So I realised that sticking to a study routine is an absolute necessary. Like, it's just got to be done. It has to be done. Otherwise, you're just going to keep forgetting where you were, and it's just not going to work out, really. So basically, I sat down, I got my planner out, and I went through each day, and I was like, well, usually I do this on this day, I'm free that day, and then like my daughter goes to bed at this time, she has a nap at this time, I'll work my way around that. So like, I just basically made sure that it was on paper and I could see it, and then I got a thing got a bit of a thing about marking stuff off. Like if I've done it, I'll mark it off, and then I feel 10 times better. Just something I did want to mention as well, with the new year coming up and I've got my first TMA out of the way, I feel a bit more confident now and a little less stressed, and I'm feeling a bit more like I could handle doing my study vlogs. So I was thinking about starting them up in the new year when I go back to studying. I do have a break. I am on break right now, so there's no studying whatsoever. So yeah, I thought like if you guys like to see that, it will probably be weekly vlogs. Just because I don't do a lot every day, so I will probably end up doing weekly vlogs for my studying. So if you'd like to see that, like to keep up on how I'm doing and get a feel of what it is like to be an OU student, then make sure you look out for them. So I'd also like to do some Q&As with anyone who's interested in anything to do with the OU or my life or whatever you guys want to know. If you are interested in asking a few questions, then either leave a comment down below or go to my Instagram and leave a question on my latest picture. Anyway guys, that was it. Wasn't a very long video, I know, but I just wanted to keep you guys updated. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I shall see you next time.